You know what I mean? There's a lot of love and respect, except for like the little younger generation who don't really know me, who feel some type of way about my brother, which is a whole nother story that,
Yeah.
you know, it's a little different. But all the people from the '80s to through the '90s and all, yeah, they know what it is. They know what it do. They respect it. You know what I mean?
So
So it
Rufus.
was like it changed with the hood, but it didn't really change us. You know what I mean? We were
Right,
still the
right.
same. We would
Oh yeah,
still
yeah,
hang out on
yeah.
the block, and people pass through the turf and see us. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
for
So.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Shit, I got a
Mhm.
wild story about you. I remember we went, me and Eddie Watts. I just interviewed Eddie Watts on the last show too. We went down there to fuck with TC. TC had something to do, so he dropped us off at Budweiser party on Harbor Road. Niggas get to shooting
Yeah.
inside the party. Me and Eddie Watts, the crowd run out the house party. Me and Eddie Watts running down Harbor Road. You pull up, like, nigga, what the fuck is y'all doing out here? Threw us in the car, took us back to
Yeah.
TC house. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
okay, okay, all right, I'm gonna get all right. So look, so Ruthless by Law is blowed up. Shit has changed for y'all. Y'all on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Y'all on a whole nother level. Cause y'all videos was being played on
Mhm.
Rap City and all kind of shit, right?
Mhm.
So at the height of all this, well, you say 2 years later, Mr. C get killed. The
Mhm.
jealousy. Do you think that the jealousy of y'all success is what got him killed?
Um. Not really, because that was kind of a mistaken identity thing.
Okay.
And people don't know about it. It was some internal shit going on Harvard though.
Okay.
That led, but it wasn't actually like they killed him behind that. But it was a lot of like shit that led up to that end up. It was like a lot of other little small problems that was boiling over. Little incidents with dudes say something to Mr. C and they arguing, they out on the block, and hey, nigga, you ain't from here anyway, and then he's a new booty, you can't hustle out here, and
Okay.
they arguing, and he'll come tell me, and I got to go out there and check a dude, and then,
Right.
and all that, and it was just like little incidents that just was piling up, and the block started splitting. And then started splitting between the people that was on my first album cover.
Right.
You got Booby on there, you got me on there.
Right.
You know, like leaders of separate crews, sort of like, because when they come out, Booby come out and hang, there's a few little youngsters that are going to be up under him, hanging up under me. When I come outside, I got a few youngsters and my brother and them all up under me. So it started kind of separating, really without us knowing. It was just kind of naturally, we all just hang with certain people, and, it just kind of happened like that. But
Yeah.
then, once the money started really getting involved, we had like the block and the money. I mean, and had the rap, and we had the street money. It was kind of like we being hogs and shit.
Right.
So
Right.
it was like little shit that just little incidents like that piling up. My little brother arguing with certain dudes, and want to slap up on certain dudes, and so it all kind of compiled to where it was an incident that took place with one of my cousins and some of the younger dudes, Sugar Bear brothers.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? So, and really what I could say kind of almost really started with it really was kind of like Sugar Bear used to be part of Right Way hanging with us.
Right.
And then we thought we was going to put him out. We damn near produced a whole album damn near like, well, not a whole album, but a couple songs for Sugar Bear. And Sugar Bear ended up, I never kind of got at him with about a contract. As soon as I damn near get 5, 6, 7 songs in on his album, because he was like the next best thing about to happen.
Right.
He put out a song on Herm compilation that was good, you know what I mean? So that all had transpired, and then it was kind of like he ended up going over to Booby, ended up coming to me like, yeah, bro, I want to kind of get my song. I want to see if you would still help produce my album. I'm finna be on B-Real Records just before they became Big Block Records. He was like, I want to see if, you going to help with them. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I was putting it out. He was like, no, man, you never discussed no paperwork or said that you was going to put me out. You was just, and I'm like, what you think I was in here working, doing? So
Right.
that moment right there, it caused the split.
Oh,
Because everybody
okay.
in my studio, Hitman, all of us, we like wasn't fucking with Sugar Bear no more. After that, it was like, okay, you over there with Booby, with B-Real Records, this Right Way over here. You do what you do on your own, we ain't helping you.
Yeah.
And that right there divided the turf because Boogie and all the, all them dudes that was part of B-Real Records started looking down on us. We started looking down on them, and it was just like, man, okay, it's competition now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from there, it was split up, and we started doing our own thing, and that's what led up to Mr. C. An incident happened with Hitman,
Okay.
and you know, Hitman, they was actually trying to come get Hitman in Mr. C, and Hitman was dressed the same that same day.
Oh,
you know, Mr. C was supposed to leave with me and go to Oakland to my auntie house for a New Year's party, but he like, man, you know, he had Old Tone, you know, he had Old Tone Jackson, some money, because me and Tone let Mr. C borrow some money on Christmas for his kids, because Jason wasn't paying. It was just a lot of shit with Jason not paying us, and, you know, he had to take care of his son for Christmas, and we let him borrow money, so he like, man, I got to stay here and hustle. You know, I got to pay y'all back. I'm just going to stay here. So what happened was he was sitting up. Hitman was sitting up on the corner with the hoodie on with the blue 501s. And he came down to talk to us, and what happened was they switched places. They was already plotting to try to get Hitman that day. So Hitman walked down, Mr. C walked up, hoodie on, blue 501s, just like Mr. C. Sat right in the same spot where Hitman was just hustling at, and we pull off. So when they came back to try to get Hitman, it ended up being Mr. C.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
So, yeah, because there was a lot of little stuff with the young dudes. They really was still hating Hitman behind him being from Sunnydale. And then, like I said, a few things that happened with some gunplay and some fights on there that Hitman was a part of. You know, with my brother and them. So they was trying to come back and get Hitman and trying to snipe him and get rid of him. And then it was just like when they went to go get ready, like, oh, Hitman slipping right there. They went to go get ready, go suit up, put their little masks and stuff on. Him and Mr. C switched spots. I drove up on the corner, dropped Mr. C off, and Hitman got in the car with me. He like, man, I'll ride with you out there. He like, oh, Mr. C ain't going? I'm like, nah. I'm like, you gonna ride out? He like, yeah, I'll ride with you. And he hopped in the car with me, and we drove off. But they didn't see that move.
Wow, yeah.
So, yeah, so it all kind of came out later on was me and Booby. A lot of us talked and all when Harbor first split up. And, yeah, we just was, you know, it was just one of those things where it's like, man, you know, we through. We ain't fucking with niggas no more.
Yeah.
We going our way, they go their way. And, you know, that's when Big Block became Big Block. And, you know, R.B.L. was just R.B.L. And it was, you know, we moved on.
So,
know?
Okay. So Mr. C got killed. You put Hitman in the group, right?
Well, not officially really in the group, really. He was just kind of always playing his role he played. Like, always going to be on songs. And people assume that. So I kind of left it at that. That's what Atlantic told me to do, too, because he was never on contract. He never signed. They signed me solo as R.B.L. because they knew I had produced all the music.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and I had arranged everything. So, you know, they said, okay, we just going to chop the money down. We still going to do the deal with you. Because, you know, we know that you're the mastermind behind everything.
Right. So
what we're going to do is we assign you, and you have Hitman still play a role on the album, probably give him more parts now. I said, yeah, that's what we was going to probably do anyway. Because I don't really want nobody to fill Mr. C's shoes, so I'm just going to have him, instead of him probably being on a couple songs, I'm going to probably put him on a couple more. You know, so that's kind of what happened. I said, I use features now, because we really didn't like really getting too many features. It really wasn't, like, in our circle.
Right.
So we said, forget it. We just gonna go on and do this album, and I'm trying to bring in features, try to get it like MC8s and Tilas and, you know, and Mysticals, and like just to kind of, you know, cover that void, you know, fill that void for not having Mr. C. So that's kind of like how that happened.
So y'all,
yeah, he never really was on paper as far as in R.B.L. Him man was always a solo artist doing his own thing.
So after so y'all signed to Atlantic and y'all put out An Eye for an Eye, right? Now, An Eye for an Eye, was that a dedication to Mr. C?
Pretty much like a dedication, and it was kind of a shot at Big Block, because like I was doing hella dumb. I should have used that deal to my advantage, and what we did was we was doing that. We was kind of like trying to antagonize them, because even like we spent hella money just to get a big ass billboard put on 3rd Street. You know what I mean? We could have used that in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Somewhere. But we like, fuck it, let's put that big billboard, because they gave us like 3 of them. We did put one we put one in Oakland. We put one in L.A., which they wanted to do 2 in L.A., but we ended up doing 1. And we put 1 on 3rd Street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right on 3rd and McKinnon right there, right where everybody hangs out at.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, though. That's your home city. Y'all should have one there. You know what I'm saying? That
right.
Okay, so how was the deal with Atlantic? Was it cool?
Oh, the deal was lovely. It's just the money got changed. The points was lovely. Everything with Atlantic was lovely except that they didn't honor it as far as I had 3 mandatory albums that they could have. And everything else was optional like that. We did a deal for 5 albums.
Right.
3 mandatory, 2 optional.
Right.
Depending on how good the first 3 do.
Right, right.
And like I said, I was saving money. I didn't really go use all the producers they wanted me to use.
Right.
They was offering me features I didn't use.
Right.
You know, I was trying to save a lot of that budget money because they gave me my first album. I think it was like $325,000.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that, I had to give Jason, I believe it was like $50,000 out of that. Because we had to buy him. He was trying to stay on board, and I was just like, hell no, I'm not fucking with Jason. It ain't happening.
I was just about to ask you that. Why did you have to bread him out?
To buy out our contract because we were still signed to him.
Okay.
You know, so we like, hold on, he ain't paid us. No publishing. We just found out about mechanical royalties he didn't pay us for. He didn't pay us for our first album. He tried to say we had to clear all the samples.
Yep.
We like, dude, we done sold over 200-some thousand copies. You had more than enough money to clear the samples. Why our money is going towards that? You only gave us probably $40,000, $50,000 total of the lifetime we was at Intermittent Records. You ain't paid us $100,000 at all. We done sold $200,000 on that album.
Yeah. Plus
another 200-something thousand on the second album.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, dude, you only gave us a total. I just say 60, 70,000.
Damn.
But when we got our lawyers to look at everything, it added up. They said based on y'all royalties getting from Jason, even though it's a small minority percentage, y'all based on y'all royalties alone in which y'all sold, y'all are supposed to make $670-some thousand. I'm like, man, we ain't got nowhere near that. He said that's what he owe y'all.
Damn.
Just based on looking at his contract right now that he gave y'all, based on the 2 album sales combined SoundScan. This ain't even including what was sold under the table because back then on the first album, SoundScan wasn't really a big thing. It was a lot of mom and pop stuff around.
It really was.
We sold a lot under the table.
Yeah.
We probably go between y'all and us. We all probably sold way more than what SoundScan is saying. So
hell yeah.
We just basing it on SoundScan. He owed us like $670,000.
Yeah, no question.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It was just crazy to me.
Yeah. So okay, so the Atlantic deal went bad, right? Y'all only did 1 album for them, right? Did y'all only do one less than 2? I mean,
yeah. What happened was why it went bad was Mike Karen. They let Mike Karen take over. Whatchamacallit, who signed this? He the man now at Atlantic. He's like the president right now. I forgot his name, but I always seen he be talking on T.I. and a lot of people, Fat Joe and them. I just find speaking on Fat Joe and Remy and them. Oh. He the man now.
Oh, okay.
Claire Callinan. He the one that signed us.
Okay.
But now Craig is he the man. But as soon as he signed us, he moved from A&R at that position he had with Big B Atlantic to the top man at Atlantic. So he put Mike Karen, which was an East Coast lover. He was into dudes like Wu-Tangs and all that. And so he was trying to switch my style up and trying to tell me I need to, I didn't think it was true when they said they get you to that big conference table and they said start letting you hear other people's stuff. Like, man, what you think about beats like this and songs like this? And look at Master P start cracking at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So they started wanting me to do stuff like Master P and that Southern style type stuff, and like listen to Snoop, Snoop and them even switching A-sounds, Snoop doing this and that, and blah, all this and that old stuff. So it was just like, dude, y'all sign me for what I do, for the music I make. I ain't trying to be switching up. And he's like, well, we'll give you a chance to try to give us a couple singles. We ain't working on no album till you give us at least a marketable single.
This was after.
So they gave me like.
This was after I-49?
This was after I-49. Yeah, this was after I-49.
Okay.
I-49 came out. It did mediocre. They expected it to go gold. It did like 200 and some thousand units. They wasn't satisfied because they say to satisfy the deal, we had to go gold and this and that based on the promotion and all the money they spent and this and that. So they was like, to start on this new album, we need a single. So they gave me like $6,000 to go in and produce a single. I went in, made a single. They didn't like it. They like, this ain't no single. I'm like, yeah, I don't make singles. I just kind of work on the album, and the single will just come out of the album.
Yeah.
Y'all want me to, it's a different type of formula y'all got going on now that y'all trying to get me accustomed to, but I ain't how I work.
Yeah.